Everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say let.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS.
Good morning and welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz. And JB will be joining me here in just a few. He's getting his hair all nice and pretty, I believe. Man, but good luck to you, all of us here locally. It's cold. It's really cold, as you guys can see here in the countdown. It's a little chilly. We're expecting a little bit of snow, a little bit of cold weather. It seems like 30 states are going to be affected, and we're one of them. So I hope that everybody is prepared. If you're not, it seems like you still got a day. It seems like it's going to hit tomorrow. So make sure you got your water, your necessities, toilet paper, or butt wipes, whatever it is that you need to survive if you are forced to be stuck at home. And also make sure you're surrounded by a couple people that you love. That way you don't get in a couple tussles there at home, hanging out with someone a little bit too long. But the beauty of being at home is that there's tons of sports to watch. There's basketball. There's college basketball going on this world. And I was just telling JB before it started, before the show started, it's pretty cool to see. I don't know if it's cool, if it's kind of sad, or if it's just like us getting old, right? That's the name of the game. But there's a couple college hoopers out there whose pops we were watching that are our age, like a Gilbert Arenas or Carmelo Anthony. Their kids are now playing in college sports, and they're having success. So that's pretty dope to see. That's pretty sick. Also, like in our youth sports, our friends that are our age as well that have kids all grown up and whatnot are in high school or middle school, and they're playing in sports, and that's pretty sick to watch too, man. So shout out to all the parents out there that are involved in youth sports and their kids are crushing. And if they're not crushing, just keep pushing, keep motivating, and ultimately at the end of the day, it's just to be active. Go out there, have a little bit of activity, and have some fun. We've been somewhat in the news with youth sports, and obviously, we want to be examples to the world. So we want to be good examples to the youth. So I encourage you guys to be good humans out there. Encourage these kids to go out and do great things, and it doesn't always necessarily mean to go pro in something, but to learn something, get something out of that sport, and just enjoy being around other folks, because sports teaches more than just being athletic. They teach us about life, right? They teach us about being able to go through the hardest things and the hardest obstacles in life and be able to overcome, not only alone, but with people around us, being good humans in this world. But ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the man with the box, the man with the choice, the one with the broad chest and all white, the one, the only, John Borba.
Yep. What is going up?
JB just gave a little speech about what the weather's going to look like this weekend. Are you prepared? Are you ready? Are you ready to be locked in?
So.
It sounds like we're going to have hell of snow, which should be fun.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. I got to get a couple things, but I'm ready for the most part.
Yeah, we got our protein shakes.
Yeah.
We got our awa.
I don't got to worry about
We
that.
got our little pull-up bar, just in case we don't have to. Just in case we can't go to the gym, we can just work out there at home. Nice little backyard, and Borba's got a nice little backyard, very nice backyard. So just go back there, play a little bit of football. Right, JB? A little tackle football. Take us back to the youth. Whenever we used to bang with a couple homies, pause on that one. Yo, what is going on with that? But JB, your boy, in the news. Let's break down a couple things that came out in the news, a couple things to expect this weekend. Zuffa Boxing's making its appearance. Dana White kicking off his boxing career with Zuffa going to Paramount Plus. Also, UFC going to Paramount. That'll kick off Friday. So if you're stuck at home, you'll be able to watch Zuffa Boxing on Paramount Plus. Also, UFC 324. Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, the England man, kick off the UFC pay-per-view this weekend. Or not pay-per-view, my bad. It's on Paramount Plus. It's free. All you got to do is have a subscription. But in our world, the NFL world, Minnesota Vikings seem to have been able to keep their DC. Brian Flores seems to be staying in Minnesota. How do we feel about that, JB?
Great move. I know something with the way that they extended him, like he can't go anywhere laterally, so he can't be a defensive coordinator anywhere. But he could still possibly, become a head coach if he gets an offer that he likes or something like that. If there's a team that fits him, but I really think he's safe. I don't think he's going to go. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think he realizes that what he has right now, what this whole team is, it's a roster that's ready to make a move now. It's a ready to win roster now. Obviously, the quarterback position kind of derailed all that last year, but we're hoping, just a couple little critiques, bringing a veteran, and we'll be right back on track to where we were with Sam Darnold 2 years ago. So. Great hire. Some of the notable things to take from Brian Flores is pressure rate this year was 44.5%. That's first in the NFL. The no blitz pressure rate, 42.5, was number one in the NFL this year. Points per game, 19.6. That was seventh this year. Yards per game, that was third this year at 282. Yards per play, 4.7. That was third this year. Third down percentage, 34.5%. Success rate. For the offense, they completed 34.5. That was fourth in the NFL in their red zone scoring percentage, 42.8, second in the NFL. And then the pass yards per game, which this was kind of a surprising stat. I don't know why it's so low, but we averaged 158 and a half yards a game given up through the air. And that was number 2 in the league. So, huge for us. Brings the best out of our players. And he would bring the best out of any players on any defense. But yeah, he with a defense specifically with like no superstars, to do that is pretty to consistently have like a top 5 defense. The past few years has been really good, so it's good to keep him.
Yeah, shout out to Minnesota Vikings for that hire, and it's contingent on whether or not he gets a head coaching position. Right now, he's being interviewed by the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. So it's not official, but like JB said, if he doesn't get a head coaching job, he can't get another defensive coordinator job elsewhere. So teams like myself, like the Dallas Cowboys, where we were kind of hopeful that maybe Brian Flores would be coming over to Dallas, those rumors are completely shut out because if he plays a defense or a DC anywhere, it will be out in Minnesota. JB having a little bit of technical difficulties. It's all right. There we go. We're back. That's Thursday, baby. That's the Broncos. That's the Broncos comments. They're throttling your server over there, JB. Yeah, JB, go out and come back in, and we'll be waiting for you. Just go out and come back in real quick. JB's been having a little bit of fun with the comments as of late because he did put out a little video, or I put out the video. I kind of clipped them perfectly to kind of force engagement, and it worked. Broncos fans are absolutely coming for JB. It's funny. It's a good time. There's a lot of you don't know ball. You're an idiot. You would know about fraud. What's a couple other good ones? There's some good ones out there, huh, Jay? There's some good little comments out there. It's a good time. It is ball. So, anyways, it is what it is. But while we wait for JB, let's talk about what is on that Paramount Plus card this weekend for the UFC. I'm excited for it. I wonder. I don't know if a lot of our followers are UFC fans. But I always have a good time watching it. As of late, they seem like they have been a little bit slow, but with the new Paramount Plus contract, it sounds like the cards are going to be kicking off just a bit earlier, so we don't have to necessarily just be dying folks down. For me, that's kind of been one of the tougher things is like staying up for some of these cards. It's like, damn, why are they so late? Why is the pay-per-view walking? Why is the main event walking out at 10:30 or at 10, even 10? It's like, yo, come on, let's kick this thing off at 7. Let's get the main event to walk out at 9:30. That would be perfect. So that way we can go ahead and rest our little beautiful heads on our pillow and go night and wake up the next day, go to church and enjoy football. That's what we need. But kickoff times for the NFL is 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time and 4:30 Mountain Standard Time. The AFC Championship game 1 o'clock and the NFC Championship game being at 4:30. JB, what are you looking forward to this weekend, brother? Dang, man, them Broncos fans are coming heavy for my boy right now, and we gotta pick up and keep moving. Let's talk about this. What was that, Jay?
They're out for Borba.
Yeah, I guess they're coming from, bro. Throttling his internet. Maybe it's the cold weather. Jay, you know what the weather's gonna be like out there in Denver? Yeah. I was looking at it, and around kickoff, it should be the expected low on Sunday is roughly, or right here on the weather app that I'm looking at. It shows that it's 32. It's supposed to be uh Oh, I'm so sorry. I was actually looking at Seattle. But for Denver, it looks like the low is 13 degrees. The high is 29 degrees. So it's going to be chilly. They are going to feel a little bit of the effects of the weather, but around kickoff time, it should be fairly well. I think they're going to get a little bit of snow, but the field itself should be cleared out. The boys are pretty good, or the boys and the girls are pretty good about cleaning the field up. Winds are expected to be around 8 miles per hour. So down on the field, you probably won't feel much. I won't. It don't feel like it's going to affect anything as far as kicking. So weather wise, I think we are set for a beautiful Sunday of football down there in Denver, and then we go over to Seattle, the later game, and it seems like it's expected high 44 and low 32. So not as cold as it's going to be in Denver, but it is going to be a little chilly. A little chilly. You'll probably need a jacket or two, a sweater if you go to the game. And wind is only going to be expected at 4 miles per hour. So it's beautiful weather for football this weekend, JB. That's one thing. I mean, Jay, that's one thing that I think played a factor in these previous games this past weekend, and that will not play a factor whatsoever. As long as you can play in a little bit of chill, these boys should be smacking, man. But that Patriots defense, bro, I think that's one thing we didn't really talk about at all this week. We were so locked in on the fact that C.J. Stroud lost the game for the Houston Texans, but man, JB, I'm telling you, that defense was buzzing. There's a reason that C.J. Stroud looked like a third string quarterback, like an XFL quarterback, like a quarterback that should have been in the Canadian Football League type quarterback. That Patriots defense with what's Buddy's name? Jay, number 7. Help me out here. Yes, Carlton Davis, right? Yeah, what a dog, bro. That guy is a beast, man. Mike Vrabel coming over in just 1 year, absolutely flipping this New England Patriots team on its head. And this team is known for what it always used to be known for, that defense and then a quarterback that can just manage the game. Unfortunately, Drake May hasn't been very good about taking care of the ball. That's one thing that Mike Vrabel has been stressing extremely hard this week. JB, are you expecting Drake May to take care of that ball and that defense to come through? This is going to be a defensive type game, right? Is that what we're expecting?
I am kind of expecting that, and we haven't really been given the Patriots a lot of credit for their defense. But man, they've defense is what showed up for the playoffs, and it's been consistent. They've been carrying the team, and it's been chaotic. They're forcing turnovers, and they put a lot of stress on C.J. Stroud. But yeah, with Drake May, I think his clock. I don't want to say it needs to be sped up, but he's got to have more awareness. I mean, he probably hasn't really played a pass rush like that Texans pass rush all year. Um, and now he's going up against the Broncos, which one of their strong suits is a good pass rush, getting after the quarterback. So he's got to be aware of the backside pressure that he's getting, off his blind side, and get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. I think that's what they're going to do. I don't think they want him to necessarily just sit in the pocket and make these long reads that are taking 3-4 seconds to develop. So the offensive line, Will Campbell was kind of getting bullied last week, and the rest of that O line. So I expect a little bit different of a game plan to hopefully help get rid of the ball a little bit sooner. But he's also just got to protect the ball. At the end of the day, like you need to be aware of the pressure and what's coming on, with your backside, with your blind side, I should say. And we saw that who did really good with that was Josh Allen, especially late in that game against the Broncos. Josh Allen was really, there's a couple plays where like on that comeback late in the fourth quarter, we are just like, man, if he holds on to that a second longer, he's getting blown up from the back and pause, but he's going to get a fumble. And yeah, so it's having that awareness. You need that awareness. And Drake May, that's part of being a second year quarterback though. Like we forget that this guy, it's his second year and he's an MVP runner up. So you got to learn that. You got to. I'm sure he's thinking about that's been heavy in this past week. The coaching staff, all those guys, they're putting that on this. Hey, be aware of this pass rush. Be aware of the blind side. Get rid of the ball quick. Be decisive. And if you got to run, you got to run. But just take care of the ball. Like he's athletic enough to move and extend the play and move up in the pocket and all this stuff. So extend the play. Be careful with the ball. Don't fumble. Don't put it on the ground.
Yep. It's like sometimes the confidence of these guys is just so high that you're just like, yo, have a little bit of awareness. Have a little bit of awareness. Let's not just be so loosey goosey with the ball. I mean, it's came to bite some people in the tush, some people being Josh Allen and got their coach fired and whatnot. And it seems like that Bills organization is up in shambles. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit, JB, about the interview that the GM and Brandon Beam, the GM, and the owner had yesterday, kind of throwing shade at Keon Coleman, which was a little bit weird on how they handled that situation. But it seems like maybe the internet had a part to play in that. But it is what it is. You got to be better, Bills organization, and that's exactly what we're talking about. You guys are just continuing to pull um, notes out of the Jerry Jones playbook and making yourselves look like a bunch of buffoons. But Drake May, let's stick there. Let me give you a couple fun facts about Drake May. Drake May, 23 years old, 148 days old on Sunday, will be the fourth youngest quarterback to start a road conference championship. Each of the young quarterbacks all lost the game and scored fewer than 20 points. All right, I didn't need to say that part. But Drake May being the youngest on the road in a conference championship just goes to show what a dog this guy is so early. And being in the MVP conversation, like you said, JB, let's keep it going. Drake May has had a sub 60 completion percentage in each of his 2 playoff starts in 2025 after only having one such game in the entire regular season. No quarterback since the 1970s merger has won each of their first 3 playoff games with a completion percentage below 60 in all 3 of the wins. I take that as I read this, I'm just like, damn, I'm kind of taking shots at Drake May. But the way what I'm setting up here is just to go to show that Drake May and this New England Patriots team has been able to get to the AFC Championship, although they have been playing subpar on offense. So if we even get a mediocre game from this offense, man, this game could turn into an absolute blowout. Now let's compare Drake May to this defense. Drake May will face the Broncos, second-ranked total defense in the AFC championship game after defeating the fifth-ranked Chargers and the top-ranked defense. May could become the first quarterback ever to win 3 playoff games against top 5 total defenses in a single season, JB. Isn't that nuts? And the Patriots are one of the only 3 teams since 2000 to play in both the wild card, the divisional round, allowing fewer than 20 points and 500 yards combined in those games. What is that? Just reading those, JB, that just goes to show that, is like I said, if this offense even has a average game, this defense is more than capable enough to take them to the Super Bowl. Would you agree with me there?
Yeah, I agree, and I think what interesting stat would be too, to if we could look up like all these quarterbacks. I think in the entire playoff pool, maybe besides Stafford, I think just taking a look at from what I can remember, like the completion percentage for all these quarterbacks is like 60% or lower. I don't think it's high at all. I know we were talking, the wild card, Jordan Love and Caleb Williams, they had like a 50% and like a 52% completion percentage
Yeah.
rate. Um, man, I if we could, that would be an interesting stat to pull up, like because we haven't been getting great quarterback play from anyone. I mean, I guess you
Not
could
yet.
say,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess you could say Stafford played pretty decent in that Bears game. He had a good completion percentage. He did well. But like other than that, there really hasn't been like it's not been dominated by the quarterbacks. Teams have won other ways besides the quarterback, and that's why I thought it was so possible for the Texans to make a deep, deep run because we haven't seen elite quarterback play yet, really. I mean, honestly, like how we did like what 10 years ago with all these quarterbacks. It's just a different league now, I think. And I think we're going to expect more completion percentage, but we're going to see more splash plays. We're going to see quarterbacks extending plays on their legs. So it hasn't been elite quarterback play like we've grown up watching, and that's what's really kind of weird. And none of the elite quarterbacks besides Josh Allen have been in the dance. We don't got Burrow, Mahomes, those guys. So it's a different scenery, and we're getting different types of football
Yeah.
besides elite quarterback play. So it's kind of like a little different to see to see all these teams win in specifically different ways, not just
Yo,
all from
I
the quarterback.
me personally, I love the football that we're getting right now. Like just smash mouth football, bang bang.
Yeah.
Like I said this weekend, I was watching the game with my wife, and she's like, "Man, these boys are smacking." Like that's gotta suck out there because it was. I mean, you watch that Patriots game. snowing, it's cold as hell, it's wet. These boys gotta be freezing, and you can hear every hit, bro. Just every hit, just smack, 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 smack. And
Yeah.
it's just like, damn, that's football. That's some good football
Yeah.
happening right now. And I like it. It does suck when it's low scoring, but damn, it sets up for a good finale. That the
Yeah.
fourth quarter is when some of these guys have been showing up and been able to close out games. So that's the beauty. That's the beauty of what we've been watching these past couple weeks. Is a lot of great defensive play and a lot of dudes making their name right now, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see. J.K. Dobbins will be making his debut back after injury from this season. Man, that's massive for the Denver Broncos because they're going to need the running game to get going to have some success. The the Houston Texans were not able to have any type of success running the ball. But JB, let's read a couple things about good old Jared Stidham because Bo Nix is out for the season, right? He's led the Broncos in rushing yards in each of their last 2 games, and he's also led the Broncos in rushing in their 2024 wild card loss to the Broncos. A running back hasn't led the Broncos in rushing yards in a playoff game since C.J. Anderson had 90 rushing yards and a touchdown in Super Bowl 50. That's crazy. So there's a lot of pressure on Jarrett Stidham not only to deliver the ball, but maybe
Thank
to
you,
also be
Rico.
able to scramble and get outside the pocket. And when things break out, be able to run down the field and go extend the play. But Jarrett Stidham will be the first quarterback since Hall of Famer Roger Staubach in 1972 to make their first start of the season in a conference championship game or later. Hall of Famer George Blanda in 1956. We're going way, way back here, JB, all the way to the old heads. In 1956 NFL championship is the only other quarterback since 1950 to make their first start of the season this late. Dang, Jared Stidham hasn't attempted a pass since week 18 of 2023, and the NFC Championship game will have been 749 days since his last pass attempt. Stidham will more than double the current record for most consecutive days without a pass attempt prior to starting a playoff game, currently held by Joe Webb at 370 days prior to his start for the Vikings in the 2012 wild card round.
Yeah.
Woo, JB, whew. Broncos offense, Sean Payton's offense has averaged 383.5 total yards per game in the playoffs in his career as a head coach, the most among anyone to coach at least 10 playoff games in NFL history. His offense, 26.4 points per game, are the fifth most among such head coaches in NFL history. I think the one thing that we got to be optimistic about is we got to give Sean Payton a little bit of credit, right? I mean, the guy's a winner. He's been he's probably, let's say, he could have probably made another 2 playoff appearances if it wasn't for a couple close calls. I get we could make that you could make that argument, right? I think the first one that comes to my mind is obviously that playoff game against the Rams, when Jared Goff was the quarterback for the Rams, and that whole pass interference thing. If you go back and watch the video, it definitely feels like it was a pass interference. But they also got the ball in overtime to go out there and be able to win, and they didn't. So you could make the argument there that they were given the opportunity to go in and they didn't. But anyways, Sean Payne, what's the one thing for the Denver Broncos here that, like, what gives you hope? If you're a Broncos fan, what is it that you're looking at that goes, all right, this is what we're gonna have to do to win this game?
Well, I think it is Sean Payton's play calling. Sean Payton's play calling was good last week. I thought it was really good to open up the game with even like the whole first half. And I don't know if it's a Sean Payton thing or a Bo Nix thing where the offense gets stagnant. I think at that point, like it's Bo Nix at a certain point. So, but I think for the most part, like Sean Payton was calling a really good game offensively. So for me, I think if you can call a good game for Jared Stidham and you know, kind of use what Stidham's good at. I mean, Stidham can kind of make any throw. He's got a good arm, so I think you got to just play into the strengths of your quarterback, and then hopefully get the running game going. Because I don't know if you even have a chance without a good running game. I really don't know if you have a chance without that running game because the Patriots. I mean, they essentially just Houston was not doing anything on the ground, nothing. So
Nothing.
Yeah,
But
like
granted, they
that was
they didn't
that
have
was really
anybody. I mean, like what they had. I mean, they didn't have anybody in the backfield, really,
no, and they put
right?
all I mean, they got Willie Marks and Nick Chubb, but they were grinding for a yard, like, and it was just rough. And then
How
you
much
put
do you
all
think
the
the
pressure.
weather played in that?
I don't know. I don't
Because
think it was like,
CJ started out so rough, bro, that they almost sold out and were
and
like, "All right, CJ,
that's
you're
what
gonna
I'm
have to
saying.
throw the ball down the field."
Like, yeah, like you put all the pressure on CJ to perform, and this guy's been a starter for 3 years. He's
Yeah,
been a
and they
starter,
had
and
Jared
you put all
Stidham.
the pressure on him, and he didn't come through at all. And it was like a snowy game, so I think Troy Aikman said it. I don't know if he was commenting on that game or if he was on another game this past weekend, but he said the ball is easier to grip when it's snowing. If it's like the sleet, snow with like the rain mixed, it's harder to grip the ball. But when it's just snow, it makes it a little bit easier to throw. So he did mention that in the game. So I don't think the weather played a huge factor into that the offense and what changed. So I think if the Broncos can't run the ball, I think this is going to be over. I think it's going to be over before it even started because
Yeah,
what
beautiful
this
weather out there too.
Patriots defense is doing is really good, and you're going to put all this pressure on Jared Stidham to go over here and throw for 30 plus 40 plus times. That's
Yeah,
not going to win you the game. That's not going to win you the game. So you've got to be creative in the run game. I don't know. For me, I'm just stacking the box, bringing a bunch of different looks, single high safety. I don't care. Like, I don't know, dude. For
force
me,
Jared Stidham to beat you. Force
yeah,
him to beat you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Forced
for
him to
sure.
beat me. Forced him to beat me 100%. Like that's got to be the game plan going in, and then just make his life hectic. Bring exotic blitzes, all this kind of stuff, and I think you'll be okay. I really do. I think you'll be okay. Just play clean offense if you're the Patriots. I
Yeah,
don't
hey, man,
know.
it sucks because the two top defenses in the league are probably going to get bounced, and it's all going to be because of bad quarterback play. I mean, ultimately, Bo Nix has nothing to do with what's about to happen. And I was excited. I was kind of turning the table on Bo Nix. I mean, him breaking his leg, going out there, nobody noticing anything, snapping a play, running a play, and then running off the field, and still nobody even having a clue of what happened to this dude. I mean, you got to have some level of respect for this kid. Like what an absolute dog, and good luck to him. He just had surgery, I believe, on Tuesday. It seems like everything played out well. He posted on Instagram yesterday, thanking the doctor, thanking the good old Lord Jesus Christ, and thanking those people around him, man. But yeah, good luck to his recovery, because the way he looked in that fourth quarter, yet again. Hopefully they can figure out a way to get that through an entire game. But Jay, producer in the back, he's a Patriots fan, may go to this game. It seems like it's still up in the air. But Jay, are you there with us? Oh, his thing froze, I guess, too. I'll ask him here in a little bit, but he's a Patriots fan. I'm just wondering what his thought process is. Like, I wonder if they're already kind of looking ahead because of Jared Stidham. I guess that's the one thing that maybe they could be overlooking is that they're just kind of thinking of ahead because Bo Nix isn't there. So maybe, but I don't know. That's not Mike Vrabel, right?
It's the
Mike
biggest
Vrabel wouldn't
no
allow that.
biggest
Mike
game.
Vrabel wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, no, biggest game of the season. This is the AFC Championship. Like this is for the conference. So no, I don't think you overlook this game. I don't think you overlook the quarterback. You go out, man, and if you dominate, man, you're gonna win. You're gonna win. So just yeah, you can't overlook that. You can't overlook the game to the Super Bowl. There's no way that this is a trap game. You still got the number 2 ranked defense you got to go against. You still got Sean Payton. So no, and you still got the home field. I mean, Broncos still have a home field advantage, which is you got to prep in itself to take that on. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, you're
You
not over
know,
this game.
JB, look at this list of backups to win a Super Bowl. This is the list that Jarrett Stidham can join if he goes out there and does the unthinkable, the unbelievable, the unexpected. George Sim could join the likes of Tom Brady, a Nick Foles, a Trent Dilfer, a Kurt Warner, JB. Oh my goodness. The fact it's so funny that Tom Brady's on here, but that is Tom Brady's story. That is how it started. Could you imagine if Jared Stidham goes out here and looks like an absolute dog and we're going into the offseason going like, hey, maybe there's a QB competition going on over there in Denver. That would be hilarious. I think if you're a Denver Broncos fan, you wouldn't mind that though. You would not mind having to have that conversation in the offseason, understanding that this man just won you a Super Bowl. Or you also trade Jared Stidham for a couple draft picks to also load up on that offense for Bo Nix when he does come back, man. But what a list this is, huh? Let's see,
Yeah, like
2000. I mean, it hasn't
and with all
happened
these
in so damn long.
with all these quarterbacks, I don't know about Jeff Hostetler, but after these guys won their Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure they all turned into starters. So, yeah, after
Yeah,
Nick
Kurt
Foles,
Warner
I think
ended
they
up
brought
taking
Carson Wentz.
over.
Carson Wentz came back because he got healthy, but his play fell off. So I think Nick Foles, or did he go to the Jaguars right after that?
Yeah, Nick Foles left.
He got the bag somewhere else and then didn't really do good
Yeah.
at all. So no, that was that.
They got
But
some
Tom Brady
picks here. That's the thing
starter.
is they got some picks, and I mean, honestly, ever since it seems like this team's just been loading up on defense just over and over and over. That's
Yeah,
what's crazy. That's interesting.
yeah.
Hey, what
Could
about
go
what about the OC
consistently.
job before we go over to the NFC Championship game? So I saw a lot of people critiquing the Philadelphia Eagles because they haven't been able to land the offensive coordinator.
Oh yeah,
Um, they had Mike McDaniels, but Mike McDaniels chose to go to LA. Brian Dable got an interview, but it seems like they allowed him to walk out of the building, and now he's being interviewed for the Buffalo Bills and their head coaching position. Um, what do we think about that? Do we need to
yeah.
not overlook it, or like let's just
I think
they're
it's a
just kind
thing.
of
I really think it's an issue. So I believe with Mike McDaniel or even Dable as well, I think they were giving the complete reins to the offensive power of like that was one of the comments that I seen. Like part of it was okay, you get to become the offensive coordinator and you get full control of the offense, and they're still declining that. So I think there's some issues. Nobody wants to work for the Eagles, so
why?
I
Why is
don't know.
that? I wonder what that's all
I
about.
don't know. So that means if you got all these big names that have proven to have offensive success, like what do you have to settle for? Are you somebody with like very little experience that just needs that OC job to help get them to the next level? Maybe it's like a passing game coordinator, quarterback coach, something like that that gets moved up into the OC position just because it'll help
Yeah.
them, in the catapult them into possibly a head coaching position or another OC job or something like that. Yeah, that's kind of weird to me. That I think it's an issue. I don't know why. Maybe it has something to do with Jalen Hurts. Maybe it has something to do with what they plan on doing with the offense. Maybe it has something to do with AJ Brown. I don't know. No clue, but
Getting messy.
it's not a desirable spot right now. And I'm
It's
thinking,
getting messy.
what the only thing that comes to mind is like your quarterback. At the end of the day, your quarterback. Can Jalen Hurts play the way that I want to run offense? What do
Or
I
is he
have to
holding us
change?
back?
Yeah.
Or is he the reason we're being held back? According to Shady McCoy, former Philadelphia Eagle, he says he's close with a lot of the gentlemen that are on that roster, and I'm assuming he's meaning like Smitty, Devontae Smith, or someone like a AJ Brown, because it seems like his sources got a lot of information. But yeah, he came out and said on his show after they lost, right? And he was being critiqued, and then doubled down on his next show when he came out and said like, "Hey, the facts are the facts. Like I'm just reporting what I've been told." And it's like, damn, if that's what the feeling is in the locker room, and they're not able to just open up the playbook freely to kind of anything, and it limits you, right? Granted, he did win a Super Bowl, but you can only replicate that type of running game that Saquon Barkley went through once, it seems like, because they weren't able to do it again last year. But JB, let's move on to the Rams and Seahawks. Did you watch that? Did you watch that video that the Seahawks put out?
No. No.
No. Oh, all right. Well, let me play it for you. It's a minute long, so bear with us. But I promise it, bro. I'm rooting for the Rams because I picked them to win the Super Bowl at the start of all this. You chose the Seahawks to go out and win all this, but there's two things, right? Oh, real quick, Al Harris is getting interviewed by the Green Bay Packers. So shout out to Al Harris. Hopefully, he gets a defensive coordinator job somewhere because he definitely deserves one. But uh, shoot, what was I saying? Where was I
The
going?
Seahawks video.
Yeah, the Seahawks video. Oh, I don't know where I was going with it. Let's watch the Seahawks video, man. This stuff is just. Oh, we have 2 New Mexicans. Jay, if you can pull that graphic up, we have 2 New Mexicans, a gentleman from Clovis, and I forgot where the other one's from. But the one that I was like, holy shit, that's down the street right here. Clovis is like 2 hours away. I go work over there every now and then. Like, shout out to Clovis for having an NFL dog, and he plays for the Seattle Seahawks. So if you didn't have something to root for, if you were like, oh, I don't know, my team's already out, who should I go for? Seattle Seahawks is a perfect landing spot. And not only that, but man, after this clip that they put out, bro, I'm a little amped up. Let's listen in, JB. Sorry for the delay.
All right, we got everybody. Man, this is pretty awesome, huh, guys? This is awesome. We got a hell of a program ready for you guys. One of the things I want you guys to feel going through this program is that we have a vision for you and this football team.
Here we go, fastball!
But today, all right, I'm going to take you here now, so stay with me. I want us to just take a minute here and fast forward to January NFC Championship. It's 30-something degrees. All right, it's wet, it's windy. All right, it's shitty for them, okay, but it's just right for us. We're loose. We're focused. All right, we're confident. We just spent the last 9 months stacking every opportunity that we had to put us in that position.
I got one question. Do y'all feel it? This is what we send the best. Let them know that we the best in the world.
Team across from us in the other locker room, okay, they've seen the tape. They know what they're in for. 11 guys playing as one, every snap. They know that we're like that.
Fire to the end zone. Ball is caught.
They know that they're facing a bunch of men that won't give up. They know they'll face a team that won't die and won't quit. They know. It's inevitable. So let's go to work.
Bro, so calm, so cool, so collected. Mac McDonald, what a dog. What, just so calm, so cool. When I watched this, I was like, yeah, let's get to work, Seattle. How you feeling about the Seattle Seahawks this weekend, JB?
I think they got a real chance to win. I really do. Home field advantage, of course. Running game's been coming along. Defense is probably. I mean, shoot, I would take them as the best defense left out of these 4. Like as of late, of what they've been doing. Man, I just think they're the most complete team. I think they're the most complete team with the entire roster. Of course, the question comes to mind. The big question is Sam Darnold ready to, do what he has to do? Like, I don't want him to have to throw the ball.
We don't need 30 passing.
Yeah, I don't even want him to throw over 30 times, but he's still going to have to make throws. He's still going to have to sling the rock 100%. So can he be consistent? Can he be accurate? Can he, not take – he holds on to the ball a lot too. That's one of his things that he just does. He holds on to the ball a lot, which creates some really bad sacks. But if he could just play a good game and give this team chances and take advantage of opportunities, I don't see why they can't win. Because we saw what Carolina did to LA, to the Rams. And I mean, these corners are almost, they match up well with the Rams, Devon Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, a couple of these guys, they match up really well with the wide receivers of the Rams. And if you can just be physical, be like that's my thing. You have to match the intensity because Devontae Adams, he's a physical receiver. We all know what Puka does. I mean, Puka is super physical. He's like a freaking running back with the ball, and he's just a football player. But I think the whole defense, you got to be physical, man, and you got to try to take away the run game. You got to be optimistic when it comes to the turnovers because Stafford might give you 1 or 2. What are you going to do with them? Those are going to be the plays that swing the game maybe towards Seattle's favor. So, but I like Seattle. I think this is, if there's not a better time for Seattle to make a Super Bowl this year, like this is the year. This is the year, and you got a
They got
great
to get
team
it done.
to all. So you got to take advantage of the moment. Take advantage of
I
it.
couldn't agree. I couldn't agree with you
Darnold,
more.
Darnold just has to come through. Like that's my biggest thing. Darnold come through, get him a dub, and we'll see you. We'll see you in the Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, and they will be missed. Kenny Walker will get majority of the touches as they lose. How do you say his last name?
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet, as he's out for the rest of the season. It's unfortunate, but the fact that you have Kenneth Walker having to get the majority of the touches, that's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all. Kenneth Walker had 100+ scrimmage yards and 1 rush touchdown in both of his games versus the Rams in 2025. The only other running back to have such a game versus the Rams in 2025 was Bijan Robinson in Week 17. Walker set new season highs with 116 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns in the divisional round versus the 49ers, and Zach Charbonnet is now out due to a torn ACL. Unfortunate, but that's what it's going to take. I think Kenneth Walker needs to be the best player for the Seattle Seahawks offense on um, on Sunday for them to have the success that they want to have. But damn, man, they're loaded. They got Shaheed, right? The special teams played its part to kick off the game last week. That addition of Shaheed, what an addition, man! Along with Cooper Cup and JSN, like this offense is loaded, bro. Think of let me read that to you one more time. Their offense: Kenneth Walker, Raheed Shaheed, Cooper Cup, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Cooper Cup making his this is, what would we call this? I wouldn't necessarily say it's a revenge game because the way that Cooper Cup was released from the from the Rams, it's all mutual. There was no loss, no love lost. So it seems like he's just playing an old foe, an old team that he was once in love with, and now he's in a position to be able to ruin their day. But JB, let me read a couple more things. Seattle Seahawks defense. The Seahawks have not allowed a touchdown since Week 17 at the Panthers, with back-to-back games since that of no opponent touchdowns. This is a second back-to-back game streak this season in which the Seattle Seahawks have not allowed an opponent a touchdown, becoming the first team to have multiple such streaks in a season since the 2014 Seahawks did so. The 2014, does that remind you of anybody?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
What?
great defense. Legion
Yeah,
of Boom.
dogs over there. Yep. We remember what they did, right?
Yep. Yep. And what they
Yeah, they
didn't
won a
do.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, won a Super
Also,
Bowl,
yeah,
choked the
at
other
the
one.
1 yard line, Pete Carroll tried to make Russell Wilson the savior, try to make him the main character in the movie, and it came back and bit him in the tush. What should you do? Run the damn ball, just like they should do this Sunday. Give it to Kenneth Walker and allow everything else to fall in place. With the Seahawks win in the NFC Championship game, head coach Mike McDaniel, 38 years old, would be tied with Sean McVay's record, 16 in 2021, for the most wins in a season by a head coach under 40 years old, including the playoffs. With a Seahawks win, McDonald would also become the 4th youngest head coach ever to reach the Super Bowl, with the youngest 2 instances both being held by Sean McVay. Damn, there's some stuff at stake. A couple records for Sean McVay at stake here if he loses. Um, McDonald's name would be etched just above him. So if you needed to add another chip on the shoulder for Sean McVay, it would be the fact that the gentleman across from him could be the reason that his name is put down one step lower. Right, JB?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to throw you some more fun facts? Who do you want to know about? You want to know about Matthew Stafford? Or you want me to hit you with the little Sam Darnold?
Darnold first. Darnold first.
Aw, man. Well, let's see Sam Darnold. Okay, Sam Darnold's first career playoff start was in 2024 wildcard loss to who? The Rams, where he was sacked 9 times, tied for the most sacks taken in a playoff game all time. Darnold is 1-3 versus the Rams with 5 pass touchdowns and 7 interceptions since Chris Shula became the Rams defensive coordinator in 2024, including the playoffs. Not the greatest stat in the world, but Sam Darnold completed 9 of 10 passes for 151 yards and a touchdown across 10 design rollouts in 2 combined meetings with the Rams this season. 15.1 yards per attempt, including 5 rollouts to both the left and the right. The Rams defense, JB, faced just 27 defined rollouts across their 14 other regular season games combined, while other opponents combined to use designed rollouts to just 5.6% of their dropbacks, the lowest rate in the NFL. Though the Rams face three types of plays less the Rams face these types of plays less often than any other defense. They allowed the third most yards per attempt at 8.2. So Sam Darnold could have a little bit of success, JB. They
Yeah.
could definitely have some success. But there's not much on Sam Darnold. I think we know exactly what we need from him, and it's
Yeah.
for him to protect the ball. We've seen turnovers just kind of come in bunches for him. Will that happen again? You certainly hope it doesn't, but I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. Can you be the ultimate game manager? Can you protect the ball and deliver one or deliver 3 to 5 passes to these dogs that you have on the outside as JSN and Cooper Kupp and Shaheed? But then also on the other side, you got an MVP caliber quarterback who may be potentially the MVP. And the MVP list just broke on my TV on the NFL Network, reported by Ian Rappaport. The finalist for the MVP candidates is Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Christian McCaffrey. Damn, shout out Christian McCaffrey. And then obviously the one leading the leaderboard, Matthew Stafford. What do you expect from Matthew Stafford in this offense this weekend, JB?
For me, I got to see consistency. I think Stafford's. I think there's going to be a few big plays for sure. That Stafford and Puka might connect on. I think Devontae Adams is going to make some crucial possession catches as he's done all year. And like I said, I think Stafford might give you one or two or three opportunities. So my thing, I think if you're the Rams, like freaking metal. I mean, what do you call it? Put your foot on the gas, dude. The whole entire game. Put pressure on this defense the entire game. And don't make it just one sided where Stafford's throwing 40 plus times. You got to get the run game going too. Kyron Williams, got to get those guys on the ground. That's going to help Stafford. And you got to get your playmakers involved, of course, which Stafford's really good at doing. So I expect Stafford to really have a good game. I don't think Stafford's going to have a bad game, but he might give you one or two, and we're going to see why he's the MVP. Like he's gonna play lights out. I think he's going to have a really good game, and he's going to be carrying this offense. And if it turns into a shootout, you got to take the Rams. For me, you got to take the Rams just because I don't think Darnold can hang with Stafford. I really don't think so. We've seen it. And for the Seahawks to win that last matchup, you needed some kind of fluky plays to beat the Rams. That 2-point conversion was super fluky. I haven't seen that. You know, the dude wasn't even trying. He just picked it up, and just because Charbonnet picked it up, he gave him the 2 points. So that was really, I mean, dude, that you talk about luck right there. So I think Stafford can outplay Darnold. I think Stafford can lead the offense to victory, and just do what he's been doing all year. Make the great throws. Allow his receivers to make the play, and I think it's good, man. It's going to be really hard to stop that. It's going to be really hard to stop that. But if there's a team that can slow it down, enough, I feel like the Seahawks can do it. Seahawks can do it.
And let me read this real quick, Santiago, in the chat here. When the number one offense plays the number one defense, the defense always wins with a 4-0 record in such games. You know what I am curious about that, Santi, and maybe you can look this up for us and let us know, is what in those situations, the offensive team, what is their defense ranked? In those 4-0 games where the number one offense loses to the number one defense, what is the offensive defense ranking? That's what I wonder. Because in my head, when I see that stat, I automatically assume that the number one offense probably doesn't have the greatest defense in the world. Like automatically in my head, that what triggers me is like I just assume the Dallas Cowboys, right? You would have a number one offense and then have a shite defense. You look at the Chargers at one point in this long stint in this decade where they would have like the number one offense and their defense would just be falling off the rails. So I wonder in this case, in that stat, I wonder what the offensive team, what their defense is ranked. Because this Rams defense, I think it's ranked within the top 10 in total defense. I know they looked a little sloppy there to end the season, and even in that first playoff game. But man, they've been dialing it up. They've been dialing it up. They looked great yet last week. You could say they were the reason that they won that game. They kept them in. What it had 3 interceptions on Caleb Williams and some massive stops there in the red zone. I like this Rams defense, man. I think they're being overshadowed by the fact that the Houston Texans are in the playoffs, the Denver Broncos are in the playoffs, the Patriots are in the playoffs, and then in the Seattle Seahawks. I think those 4 defenses are kind of overshadowing what the Rams defense is capable of. And they might be able to exploit the Seattle Seahawks this weekend. I like the Rams. I really do. I know you say that the Seahawks do have the overall team, and I agree with you because their defense I think is obviously statistically better than the Rams. But I think offensively, if you stack them up one by one, I would still take the Rams offense, starting with the quarterback, and then you could do the whole. You could say Jason and Puka, you could say they wash if you wanted to. I'd give Puka the edge. Devontae Adams and Cooper Kupp, I would give Devontae Adams the edge. Or if you wanted to compare him to Shaheed, I'd still give Devontae Adams the edge. And then with Kenneth Walker and Williams, I would say they wash as well. So if you were to stack those two up and both defenses play similar, I'm going to have to give the edge to the Rams in this matchup. I mean, am I off on that?
You're pretty accurate. I think with Kenneth Walker, I think he's been a little bit more of a home run hit in some of these games. Like even against the Rams, that second matchup, he broke off like a 40, 50-yard run for a touchdown, I believe. So for me, I think as of late, I would take Kenneth Walker over Kyron. But Blake Corum's came on a lot. They've featured Blake Corum a lot more in that running game too. So, but that's the overall running back room. If Charbonnet was still playing, I would give the edge. Like I would definitely give the edge to Seattle's backfield, but it's a pretty close wash. But I just think with home run potential, Kenneth Walker's been able to give that to you this year. So I kind of like Kenneth Walker just a little bit more, and because what we've seen out of the one weakness out of this Rams defense that we've seen the past couple of years, and granted they were playing against amazing running backs, but Saquon had his way in both matchups last year with the Rams, just crazy rushing stats. We saw what Bijan did to this Rams defense just a few weeks ago. I mean, he cooked them almost 200 yards. He should have got over 200 yards. So the run game, the run defense for the Rams could potentially be an issue, if they allow it to be. So you don't know what you're going to get with that Rams rushing defense. So it's a hit or miss. And usually when teams have success against the Rams rushing defense, that's a good thing for the opposing team. So, that's with anybody really, but that's something that the Rams can really, really let go of this weekend. The Seahawks can really take advantage of it if Kenneth Walker and that offensive line are on their game, man. That's something that we could see take over the game in certain instances and really in crucial situation areas. Help Seattle extend drives, keep the drives going, get points, and things like that. So I think on paper they match up really well. I mean, you could say the wide receivers,
It's the NFC Championship, right?
yeah, they just match up really well. They match up really
Yeah.
well. So, yeah,
Let me read you this real quick, JB. The Rams defense struggled to defend play action this season, specifically when they used base personnel. While they used base personnel at the ninth lowest rate overall, they allowed a 78% completion percentage and 10.9 yards per attempt when defending play action. With that grouping on the field, both of which marked as the second highest marks in the NFL. When defending play action with 5 or more defensive backs on the field, they allowed a 64.2% completion percentage and a 6.7 yards per attempt, both of which ranked below the league average marks of 66.8% and a 7.9% respectfully. So we've been saying this whole time, it just seems like if the Seahawks can get that running game going, it may be a long day for that secondary, as Santiago is saying in the chat. There is the one thing that this team is vulnerable at, is that secondary. But that secondary is also the reason why they won that game against the Bears. So do you wonder if that momentum carries on to this game, or if the Seahawks will be able to kind of poke the holes that are there in the Rams offense? But man, dude, I'm pumped, man. I saw this video too. Let me play this for you, JB, and before we let these beautiful people get off to work. But I was hyped up about the whole thing with the Seattle Seahawks, right? But then I saw this video from inside the NFL, and the relationship between Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua is just, it's hard to bypass, man. It's hard for me not to look at these two guys and think that they're not going to absolutely go off in the biggest moment. So let's listen in.
It's been an honor. Everything from the start of April since you've been here, bro. You set a standard of greatness. And we've been chasing that, bro, every day. It's led us to this moment right here. It's been an honor. Everything from the start of April since you've been here, bro. You set a standard of greatness. And we've been chasing that, bro, every day. It's led us to this moment right here. It's been an honor. Everything.
Sorry, I was just running that over and over. I just wanted to make sure that you guys heard it. But JB, man, bro, this is going to be a fun game. Let's go ahead and make our picks, JB, starting with the Patriots and Broncos to kick off the Sunday slate of games. Who do you got?
I like the Patriots. You gotta pick the MVP runner up. That's who I think the MVP runner up is in Drake May. I think this defense is playing just as good, if not better, than the Broncos and what we've seen out of the Broncos. And just play a clean game, and I think the Broncos season comes to an end, man. So it's going to be hard, though. I don't think it's going to be – it could get ugly, but I don't think the chances of that are going to be high. I know Patriots came in as 5.5-point favorites. I don't know if that's going to go up. I hope it stays right there, because I think the Patriots should at least win by a touchdown. So I might put some money on the Patriots to win. Maybe put a little bit on them. And
it came down to, as of right now this morning, it's 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, but it sounds like Vegas is going to start to balance itself out. I bet a bunch of money came in on New England, and they're dropping the spread down. So that way, or I bet it's vice versa. My bet. I bet a bunch of money came in on the Broncos because of the high number. And then they're probably trying to balance it out by getting people to come in and bet on the Patriots to cover that number.
Yeah. So for me, I'll take the Patriots. Yeah, I'm going to take the Patriots in that one. Yep. In the Broncos season. Yep. Sorry.
And this is a kickoff time, 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on CBS and Paramount Plus on Sunday, AFC Championships. I'm going to go ahead and agree with you as well, JB. I just don't know how the Broncos can overcome them losing their quarterback, especially in a situation where it seems like that quarterback has only shown up in the fourth quarter in crunch time, and now we're expecting a backup quarterback to come and do the same. Like, if your starting quarterback couldn't show up for 4 quarters, what makes you think that your backup quarterback is going to be able to manage that? To me, it's going to be just a little bit too much. So, like you said, give me the potential MVP and Drake May in that defense. And most importantly, man, like battle of head coaches here, like two legendary coaches, one definitely in the Hall of Fame, and then the other making his way and etching his name into the Hall of Fame with Mike Vrabel and Sean Payton. Man, this is going to be a hell of a matchup. Two defenses just battling it out, and who can make the bigger plays. And I just think that it's going to be too much for the Broncos. I'm going to take the New England Patriots as well with you on this one. And let's go ahead and move on to the Rams and Seahawks. This is a kickoff time of 4:30 Mountain Standard Time on Fox or Fox One, whatever that is. But we watch on Fox. JB, Rams are going to Seattle. Good old Sam Darnold, your former quarterback, the quarterback that gave you a season to remember for the rest of your life, JB? Some of your highest highs were because of this gentleman on this graphic, but also some of your lowest lows, some of your biggest letdowns were because of this gentleman as well. Who do you think wins this game? The potential MVP or the redheaded monster in Sam Darnold?
Man, well, I picked the Seahawks. I've been picking the Seahawks the last, few months, weeks or whatever, the month going into this. So overall, I think they've just been the most consistent team, and they've been the best team in football for the past 2 months, really. So, man, it's going to be like a bittersweet moment if Darnold wins and he's actually in the Super Bowl. Oh man, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, that just
man, dude, like that's crazy. Come on, like that could have been us. That really could have been us. That could be us right here in this situation, man. Like, oh my
those
God,
Broncos fans about to come with you for that little clip that you just made for me there.
man, dude, Vikings fans, like we're gonna be mad.
Bittersweet.
A lot of Vikings fans are gonna be mad. Let this guy out of the building, blah, 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 like, but
You can already feel it.
yeah, and that's what they've been saying. That's what all the comments have been saying, But hey,
Yeah.
that's the management's fault. That's our team's fault. So we let him out, and man, he's gonna make us regret it. I think the Seahawks win. I think the Seahawks win this game.
Yeah, and the Seahawks are favored as of right now on Thursday at 7:31 a.m. They're minus 2.5 point favorites. The over/under is set at 46.5 points, and the money line is set at minus 142 or plus 120 if you're looking to dabble in to Rams stock, which I believe that's what I'm going to do. It's hard for me after what we just talked about how balanced these both teams seem to be. This is the battle of the heavyweights. This is the ultimate fight. This is John Jones versus Daniel Cormier. This is Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. This is the greats of all greats battling it out for the ultimate prize. And JB, one thing that I'm looking at here is both teams have had 9 close games. This actually makes me a little nervous. Both teams have had 9 close games. Seattle Seahawks have been 6-3 in those close games, and the Rams 4-5. 4-5. That makes me
Wow.
a little bit nervous, but I still believe in Sean McVay, what McDonald's been able to do for the Seattle Seahawks and just completely changing
Is
the
that
culture
is that regular
for
season?
the yeah, that's regular season.
Well, now you can say
So I
that the
guess you
Rams
could
are
add 2
6 and
more.
5.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
you can say that. Yeah, so it
Yeah,
evens
you're
out.
right. You know what? Because of that, give me the Seahawks. I mean, give me the Rams. Dang. I'm about as confused as you. I want to go for the Seahawks, especially after I saw that they got 2 New Mexicans on that team. I'm like, damn, how can I root against my own people? But I've been riding high with Matthew Stafford for so long. I remember this beautiful clip of me and you one time arguing about Matthew Stafford, and I went on this whole rant about how he's carried the city of Detroit and so on and so forth. And then he goes over to the Los Angeles Rams and not only has success, JB, but goes on and wins a Super Bowl. And now we're in the middle of a conversation of whether or not this guy is a top 10 quarterback of all time, or maybe even a top 5 quarterback of all time. I mean, there's conversations going around the sports media world. Is Matthew Stafford, would you put him ahead of a man like an Aaron Rodgers? I don't know, JB. It's hard for me to look past that. And I believe that Matthew Stafford will get it done for these Los Angeles Rams. And I think that defense will step up and be able to keep it close enough to allow Matthew Stafford to go out there and do what he does best and close out games. So give me the Rams. And with that being said, JB, is there any closing comments that you would like to say before we go off into the weekend?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything. I don't know if there's anything else to hit on. So, good week of shows. We'll be making more clips, and yeah, let's keep it rolling.
Broncos fans, anything. It was
Broncos
fun.
fans, let's ride.
Broncos fans, it was fun. It was fun. It was a good ride.
Let's
I'll let the
ride.
Let the delusion kick in. Enjoy it, soak it in, drink it up, and then by Sunday you'll think that you will be in the Super Bowl, and maybe you can talk it into existence. Maybe you, as a fan, can make a difference with that lucky shirt, or the lucky socks, or the lucky boxers, or whatever it is that whatever your sports ritual is that you think will impact the game. Go ahead and do it. Get lost in the sauce, baby. During Broncos, you may have a chance to to head over to Santa Clara in San Francisco and be able to be a part of the greatest game of all time. And that's the Super Bowl. Shout out to football, really putting it on for us this year. Shout out to the college football, the sports world, just doing its damn thing for us, JB. And like I said, we have a weekend, just a perfect weekend for us if you're into if you like the fighting world. We got boxing on Friday, we got UFC on Saturday, and then you also have beautiful, the greatest game on earth, the National Football League. So shout out to all of them. I appreciate you guys rocking with us. We'll be back to overreact to everything on Monday. I believe actually we're gonna have a show on Sunday night, right, JB? That's what we've discussed. Sunday night. There in the fourth quarter of the Seattle Seahawks Rams game, we'll go live and kind of just break down what we saw, let out our emotions of what we're seeing, and then on Monday we'll react to what we reacted to see how dumb we sounded Sunday night. So we'll see you guys Sunday night, but most importantly, we will in fact be back on Overreaction Monday, 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. And if you got anything to say, baby, go ahead and pick up the phone and call 575-808-9307. Now be safe this weekend. Don't be out acting wild, driving around in this crazy weather. Be safe. Be with your loved ones. And don't forget, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. See ya. Ooh, J-Lock did the thing, man.